Coffee and Convo, y'all. Let's get it. Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building. You guys know what time it is. Welcome to the latest installment of Coffee and Convo. I am your host, Graphk Raider. Salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history, man. As always, make sure you guys wipe them feet around here, around these parts. That means get those likes up, hit those thumbs up, and also hit that subscribe button. If you guys are not subscribed yet, once again, we are trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. It's free. We cannot do it without any of you guys and your participation in this. If you're new here, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn that bell on, those notifications, all that good stuff. Once again, man, salute to everybody here in the building, man. Let me know real quick in the comment section, where are you guys watching from? What city? What state? Are you at home? Are you at work? Are you in traffic? Are you at your girlfriend's house? Are you at the side chick's house? Are you at the side chick's house? Where are you watching Coffee and Convo this morning? Salute real quick also to my brother, my little bro Hammer in the building. Yes, sir. Always love to see my brother here. We got to do another show. If not tonight, let's get one in tomorrow, little bro. Salute to my guy. Salute to Will Duncan with the first goal line. $5 holla, man. What up, Graphk? Excited to be alive. Got a few days off from the night shift and ready to hang with Raider Nation, man. Salute to you, and I appreciate you, brother, on the $5 donation. There's a lot to talk about today, Will. We're definitely going to get to it. Just letting everybody pop in today. We're going to have some fun. As always, salute to my brother, Demon King in the building. We definitely got to link up again and get a cigar here soon out here in Dallas, my brother. Salute to Raider Demon King in the building. I see a lot of Californians, a lot of jerseys in the building. I love to see it. I see a Madisonville, Kentucky. Salute to Lewis, man. I love it, man. Raider Nation is everywhere. Ruthless, my hometown. Sac is cold and it's raining, man. It's freezing out here in Dallas, too. Sunny, but it's cold as shit. Salute to my brother Hug, the my father himself, as always at the gym. I love that you are really being disciplined, bro, and you're staying at it, man. Those results will follow if you just stay dedicated to your craft, man. Salute to Hug in the building. Yes, sir, Hammer. I'm going to call you after the live, and we're going to double down, man. Salute to 2-4 at work, man. Salute to my guy. Green Dot Gang is heavy in the building. I see Gio, LT. Come on, man. I see you guys. If you guys want to become Green Dot Gang, hit the link. It's pinned up top. Once again, it definitely helps us keep the lights on over here at OLV Raiders Network. Big 183, CRC, California, man. For those who don't know, Cosumnes River College, South Sacramento is in the building. Salute to my guy. Love that you out here watching from school, man. Salute to my guy, LT, as well. You already know Iraq is definitely in the building, man. You already know my hometown, my area means a lot to me. Salute to LT in the building. Salute to John B. What up, Graphk? At 6, I'm taking Graham, Carter, Johnson, or Sanders. If they're all gone, trading back, just wanted to show support. Salute to my brother John B on a $5 special. We're going to go over that, man. I got 5 players, and most of the players you guys know, right? I mean, there's only a certain amount of talents that are being kind of connected here at 6 for the Raiders. I'm going to go by order in where I would have these guys on my top 5, board in terms of talent, in terms of fit. You know what I'm saying? Because some of them may not make any sense to you guys, and I get it. I'm going to give you guys my reasoning behind every single player that we have here at 6. But you may be shocked by a few of these, but we're going to definitely go across that. Salute to John B. Salute to Jay, my brother. For the people in the back, no Derek Carr. We got to stop this, man. We got to stop this, man. We have to stop this, man. I'm really trying to figure out. I understand, once a Raider, always a Raider and all that good stuff. We're not going to turn this into a DC show because I have a lot of love and respect for Derek Carr. As much as people think I can't stand him, 9 years with the Raiders. 2021 is always going to be a year I hold dear to my heart, and 2016 especially, helping this team get turned around, go 12-4. That was a really, really fun year as a Raider fan. But all I got to say, man, in terms of that is
that motherfucker. You're sticking with that motherfucker. You're sticking with that motherfucker. You're sticking with that motherfucker.
That's all I got to say. It's not going to happen, man. And I don't know if you guys seen it today, but Kellen Moore did come out and state that he's excited to coach Derek Carr. So many words. It wasn't verbatim what he said, but it sounds like Kellen Moore, the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, is excited. He said he's a premier player and he's a starter in this league. So we shall see what that looks like out there in New Orleans. They would take a massive hit on that salary cap if they moved on from Derek Carr. So I'm assuming he's going to stay down there. If not, maybe he goes, I don't know. He can go up New York to the Giants, the Jets. There's other teams that he could potentially go to and fight for rosters, fight for a starting spot. But I think this point in the game with DC, man, let's just say he did, come back to the Raiders, which I don't see happening at all. I would assume that he would be a backup. And that's no knock to DC. I'm just stating the obvious that he has regressed in years, these past few years, and I just don't see it. We're going in a different direction. We have to stop doing this, you guys, going back to guys that didn't work in the first place. Outside of 2021 and 2016, it just didn't work out. We needed a new quarterback room. He needed a new environment. We're here. Let's not revisit this any more than we need to. Salute to Jersey. With all the nonsense, Maxx trade talks, I thought about this. If trading Maxx can get us Archie Manning, then would you be willing to trade him? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you this right now. There's no way in the world, you guys, that Pete Carroll, John Spytek, Tom Brady and company are going to come in here and shit the bed in year one, with this new regime in place and try to pretty much essentially tank to go get the likes of Archie Manning. If he comes out next year, which I do believe he will, coming out of Texas, he'll be the number one guy. He'll probably be the number one guy, and there's no real reason to think that this is a realistic option at this point. I think Pete Carroll and these guys, they said it at their introductory presser. They're trying to win now. Pete Carroll was 73, 74 years old. He'll be 74 this year. They have no time to be trying to lose games. They're trying to turn this thing around quick, fast, and in a hurry. And I love that you brought that up, Jersey, because, there was a report that came out the other day, about the Raiders and their spending in free agency. And Albert Breer, a guy that's very heavily connected in NFL circles, this is what he had to say, about the Raiders and about their free agency period this offseason. Tom Brady promised coaching candidates that they'd have the resources to compete. There you go, wrote Breer. Then the legendary quarterback hires 73-year-old coach. This would indicate that they're going to waste no time dipping into the money pit that new limited owners, Egan Durbin, Mike Meldman, and Tom Wagner have promised to provide. Those are three names that a lot of people are not talking about right now in the grand scheme of things with the Raiders. With over $100 million in cap space, waiting for Pete Carroll and new general manager John Spytek, and the spending, I think, would be across the board. Maxx Crosby, Brock Bowers, Colton Miller, a nice building blocks. Outside of that, there are a lot of holes to fill. Carroll's going to be very specific on what he needs. I bet the Raiders owners will oblige him with their checkbooks. So there you have it. I love that tied in right with what Jersey Raider was trying to say here. In a nutshell, man, I think they're going to keep Maxx. And I don't know if you guys seen what Maxx said today as well. Well, was it today or was it yesterday? It was somewhere on this podcast where he talked about kind of the noise and everything that's going on once again. And, do I think that Maxx can come out and clean this up a little bit publicly and just state, look, I'm here. This is where I am and I'm not going anywhere. Once again, you guys, this is a contract negotiation thing. This is not Maxx trying to force his way out of Vegas. He wants to be paid and he wants to remain a Raider. But he did come out and say some interesting things about our young pass rusher out of Buffalo, former third-round pick, Malcolm Koonce. This is what he said. Malcolm Koonce, I'm telling you, this guy, I've seen him since he was a pup. When he first got in the league, he is quiet, cool, collected, and confident as well. Crosby told Jim Gray on the Let's Go podcast, and he's learned how to work. So I don't have to sit there and say anything. And, he went across, kind of touched basis on some of these guys saying that they want to come in and they want to be like Maxx Crosby, a Pro Bowler, all pro, so on and so forth. But every guy is not willing to come in to the building at 6 o'clock at the headquarters in Henderson and put the work in. And Malcolm Kuntz is one of them. Malcolm Kuntz is one of them. It sounds like he has developed into a leader. We know that this, last season didn't go well. He didn't play a snap for us because of the knee injury, and that sucks. He's a free agent right now. I know the spot track market value, I believe, has him somewhere along the lines of 20 million per. But honestly, you guys, no one coming off of a knee injury that devastating, I don't think is going to get that kind of money. I think that he will take maybe a 1 year, 2 year, second year team option type deal with the Raiders to remain as a homegrown talent with the Raiders. And I think that he understands the value of playing opposite of Maxx Crosby as well. So do not be shocked if Malcolm Kuntz is coming back. This is Max publicly stating that, Malcolm Kuntz is one of them ones. He has the right mindset to help this thing get turned around out there in Las Vegas. So I wouldn't be shocked if he and Rob Leonard and these guys are beating the table, with John Spytek and Pete Carroll saying, bring back our guy, Malcolm Kuntz, which shouldn't cost an arm and a leg, you guys, because of, once again, the knee injury that he sustained a year ago where he didn't play a snap in 2024. So interesting words from our leader, Maxx Crosby, as well. I know there's a lot of talk about him, and, there's going to be a lot more talk about Maxx Crosby going into free agency, going into the draft, because of the non-guaranteed money left on his books. You know what I mean? So, we shall see. But if I'm a betting man, once again, I always say it. I think that Max will remain a Raider. I think he wants to remain a Raider. He does want to win now. And I think Pete Carroll, Spytek, and Tom Brady are saying everything that he wants to hear, with we're trying to compete now. You know what I'm saying? And that fits the timeline of what Max is trying to do. He's trying to win now. Pete Carroll's trying to win now. Spytek's trying to win now. And, of course, Tom Brady is trying to win now. So I'm expecting that guaranteed money, some type of something, because he still has a few years left on his deal. He signed a deal a few years ago. I believe it was $98 million, but there is no guaranteed money left on his contract. So I'm expecting them to, revisit this, hit the negotiation table, and get right for Maxx Crosby going into the 2025 season. Salute to KJ, my guy. Hope you and the nation are doing good. A few lives ago, you wore a white hat with XV on it. I need that. Where'd you get it? eBay, brother. eBay, KJ, close. eBay. That's where I get all my Super Bowl hats. I think that was the XV hat, the Philadelphia Eagles Raiders Super Bowl. I also have the other two as well, the Redskins Super Bowl and the Minnesota Vikings Super Bowl hat. I got them all on eBay. Salute to my guy. Appreciate you on a $5 special, man. Salute real quick also to my guys in the building, the Kevin Nash of Mount Shillmore gifting 5 OLV Raiders Network memberships. I appreciate you, my brothers, so much. Salute to all the new members that just arrived at Green Dot Game because of my guy Spivey and my brother Jason Hunter. 10 new members in the building. If you guys want to become members like these and you missed out on them, hit the link. It's pinned up top. It definitely, once again, helps us keep the lights on over here at OLV Raiders Network. It's funny, Hug, I literally wore this hat purposely, like deliberately, because I knew you were going to say that, and I was literally going to send you a text afterwards. I got you, bro. I'm going to stay in contact with you today. I'm going to get right with you with a Woodson hat. I promise you. There was a little miscommunication between me and my people over there. I got you on the hat. Salute to CGR as well, my brother, man. One of the my fathers himself as well. One of the GOATs over here, gifting 5 as well. We got 15 new members, man, in the building because of my mods in the building, because of Spivey. Salute. Where's the flag? Brady, Spytek, Pete, and Chip. There's no way we don't just go up from here. Yeah, man. And did you guys see also yesterday, we also added another a guy into the mix, which I'm excited about, very excited about. We added Connor McQueen as the new assistant wide receivers coach. This is a guy that has a ton of experience at the collegiate level. You guys, former Texas A&M quarterback. That name probably sounds familiar, Connor McQueen. He coached at UCLA, right, under Chip Kelly. So there's the connection as the offensive coordinator from 2018 to 2019. He then also went to, you guessed it, Pete Carroll's former school, USC, in 2022. Also, he was with Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma from 2020 to 2021 before going to Incarnate Ward, where they had a great year offensively, man. They were number 2 in the FCS in total offense and passing offense in 2024 in his first season there. So this coaching group just continues to get deeper by the minute. I love it. Pause if necessary. I know the chat is going to be mad horny this early in the game, but it is what it is. I'm excited about Connor McQueen being added to this coaching staff, man. This is one of my other like under the radar favorite hirings this offseason is him, and it's Dylan, my guy from Notre Dame, our new running backs coach out there in Las Vegas. So I'm excited about adding Connor McQueen into the mix. And an interesting tidbit here as well. Went on Instagram, did some little research, and then somebody on Twitter that follows me, salute to them as well, put it up on Twitter. Sam Darnold follows Connor McQueen. So I don't know the connection there. He's never coached him, I believe. But it's funny that, he follows him. There may be some type of ties there. I'm not a big, Sam Darnold guy and bringing him into Las Vegas to be the guy, especially at that price tag. But it's going to be interesting to see. There's some connection there. Maybe they're just friends behind the scenes. Maybe they just respect each other's game. But Connor McQueen and Sam Darnold do follow each other on Instagram. So it's going to be interesting to see, if that's a name to keep an eye on moving forward. Hug, my brother. Love you, bro. Thank you so much. As always, the GOAT himself and 2-4, the GOAT. Also, man, I got a ton of bad GOATs in the building. My father, salute to you guys and salute to Jason as well. Gifting another 10-piece, man. You guys are for real, the real MVPs over here, man. Once again, without you guys, I can't do this over here. You know what I mean? So salute to you guys so much, man. Salute to all the new Green Dot gang in the building. If you would like, and you missed out on these, hit the link. It's pinned up top. Easy. Just hit the join button and boom, you are a member of OLV Raiders Network. Mutation, just FYI, the Raiders website has Connor McQueen listed as an offensive quality control coach. Yeah, we'll see where this goes, Mutation. I didn't see that, but once again, they did state that he is going to be a guy moving forward that's going to be a new assistant wide receivers coach. So it's going to be interesting if they add extra, responsibilities to his plate, which I wouldn't be shocked. But, the initial report was that that he is going to be in Vegas as the new assistant wide receivers coach next to Beatty. So, but hey, you may be onto something here. Maybe the Raiders put it up there for a reason, but either way, I love that McQueen is in the building, helping, turn this thing around offensively because we struggled last year offensively mightily. Zahn, my brother, dog, the GOAT, one of the other GOATs. One of the other GOATs. Salute to my guy, Gifting 10, OLV Raiders Network memberships. My brother, man, like I said before, the whole chat is going green, right? Garville, the whole chat's going green. WWW community. I love that response from Garville. Zahn, my brother, I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you, my brother, and everything that you do for the channel to help us stay lit over here at OLV. Will, after seeing the Eagles decimate KC, I'm more on board than ever to build the defense early in the draft and target a guy like McCord in the 3rd or 4th. His tape is impressive, seems a little underrated. He's definitely underrated, and he definitely took the Shrine Bowl, by storm. He was the best quarterback clearly at the Shrine. He ended up not playing in the Shrine Bowl, which kind of was expected because this guy is expected to be at worst probably a mid-round pick. I wouldn't be shocked though if he went in the later rounds. He had one phenomenal productive season at Syracuse, before he transferred from Ohio State. 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", right? Kind of that prototype size for a quarterback. He was out there doing work at Syracuse. I would not be shocked if we looked at him in those mid rounds if we did not locate a quarterback early. But I still believe because of the Chip Kelly, thing. I'm thinking Will Howard will be the guy if we do not. If we miss out on the likes of a Shedeur Sanders or a Cam Ward. I think that Will Howard will be the guy that they look at there in potentially the 3rd round. He may be going up draft boards. You may have to get him in the 2nd. And who's to say after the combine he doesn't slip into the 1st? We see this year in and year out. But I still believe that Will Howard, coming off of a national title with Chip Kelly out there calling the O in Ohio State, I think the connection is there, and I think it makes sense to bring in the likes of a Will Howard. Another guy that kind of really just had 1 year of major production, but also he played at Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? So, they played a ton of talent out there. So it's going to be interesting to see. Salute to Will, my guy. Salute to Spivey, who said earlier they were a fan since 1968. Same year I caught the bug. I was 8. Raider Nation for life. Salute to Spivey, man. Super OG in the building. My dog. Salute to Patrick B as well. I don't know about everyone here, but I'm more excited for this offseason than I have been since the 2014 draft. Pete Carroll has brought more juice than any other head coach we have brought in. Staff is great. I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. And the thing is this, not only that, he's bringing just a ton of experience. We were excited about let me say most people in the nation were excited about the second go round with Gruden because of what he did, years prior, right? Some people were excited about Josh McDaniels coming in because of what he did as an OC in New England. I mean, this is clear cut. Like, you're looking at Pete Carroll as a guy that has done great things everywhere he has been. So to me, this is a massive dub, and I'm way more excited with Pete Carroll being in the mix than even Gruden 2.0, the Josh McDaniels situation, and even AP when they removed the interim tag from him because of really no experience on his resume. So I agree with you, brother. I'm hyped for them to go out there and get the likes of Chip Kelly in year one with Pete Carroll out there at the helm. It's phenomenal. It speaks volumes of how much this guy, Pete Carroll, is respected around the football circuit, just period. Collegiate level, everything, NFL level. I'm excited to see what they're going to do moving forward. Salute to my guy, Patrick B. Salute to Steel Cage, my dog. Yes, I seen that. And the rumors came out that, pretty much Jacksonville hung up the phone. Steel Cage, this is the thing. They still, where are they at? Are they 5? I think they're 5, right? So they may be in the mix for a quarterback, but I think Cohen took that job because of Trevor Lawrence. I think that Cohen thinks that he can fix a damaged Trevor Lawrence down there in Jacksonville. He did it with Baker Mayfield, helped turn that thing around in Tampa Bay, helped change Baker Mayfield's trajectory. Now he's getting paid a shit ton of money and pretty much perennial playoff guy out there with Tampa Bay now, right? But this was smart by Pittsburgh, and a lot of people aren't talking about this, Steel Cage. They made the call with no general manager. I don't know if you guys are really familiar with Pittsburgh's game, but these guys know how to finesse the shit out of other football teams. There's no general manager down there in Jacksonville. So Pittsburgh says, you know what, let's pick up the phone and see if we can take advantage of a poorly ran franchise like the Jacksonville Jaguars. They have no general manager. Let's see if they would be interested in taking this first and this second for the likes of a Trevor Lawrence, who just signed a massive extension not too long ago. Hey, I like the move by Pittsburgh, but once again, Jacksonville hung up the phone. They're not interested. Khan and Cohen pretty much stated that this thing is going to be built around Trevor Lawrence. So doesn't look like they're moving on from him. But I love that Pittsburgh does this. You know what I'm saying? Because, what they do with us, they finessed this with AB. They got a 3rd and a 5th out of him and knew what kind of head case he was, right? They did it with the White Tiger himself. I believe we gave up. What did we give up for him? Was it a 3rd and a 5th too, or some crazy shit? They know how to finesse other franchises that at the moment they're not really, they're being ran poorly. I'm not mad at Pittsburgh. I love this. I love that they're doing this. Mike Tomlin and company, smart organization, just trying to make some calls and see if they can finesse the shit out of a poorly ran franchise, out of a quarterback that's broken down there in Jacksonville. We all know this guy has a ton of talent, and Cohen could potentially be the guy to fix him. You know what I mean? But I love it. But I still believe that Russell Wilson, potentially Aaron Rodgers or Justin Fields will be the guy out there in Pittsburgh moving forward. Salute to Hug. 30-minute warm-up on the mill. Sorry, chat. Salute to y'all. Time for chest day. Yes, I just got my chest game in too, man. I was out there in the garage hitting the weight. Salute to my brother Hug, man. Appreciate you, bro. Have fun, man. Salute to Jay, my dog. Let's see what the combine has for us, Raider Nation. There may be a diamond in the rough. I still want 2 running backs. Me as well. Cam Scatterboo and Jukins, laugh out loud, OLV for life. Salute to my guy. I wouldn't be against bringing in Jukins. I always butcher his name. But once again, familiar with what Chip Kelly does. Phenomenal talent at the running back position. I would not be shocked. I believe that we're going to end up with him or a Trayvon Henderson regardless. It's either one of them. I believe they'll be one of the running backs in that room going into the 2025 season. And I love Scatterboo. I loved somebody, I forgot who it was. I believe it was a scout that put it on Twitter. A comp to Cam Scatterboo was Michael Turner, former Falcon great. You know what I mean? I like that comp a lot. They run the football pretty violently. Michael Turner was pretty good in the passing game, but he never eclipsed 170 yards in the air. I think Cam Scatterboo was better than him in the passing game. He had over 600 yards out there at ASU this past season in the air. And then he had 1,700 rushing yards with like 17, 18 touchdowns. You know what I mean? So I like that comp, but I believe that Scatterboo is going to be better in the passing game. And I know that the NFL was a little different when Turner was around. Running backs now have to be kind of dual threats, be able to get it done in the passing game and the run game. But I like that. I like that comp a lot. I had to retweet that and say, yo, great comp. Michael Turner, Cam Scatterboo. Rube, Mason Graham will be a good pick at 6. He's a SoCal guy. Yes, he's from LA, which is funny because UCLA was his dream school, but Chip never recruited him. He's a dog. Salute to Rube. We're going to talk about Mason Graham here in a second. A guy that is starting to really go up a lot of guys' mock, draft boards. And once the combine is up and everything and all the dust is settled, I do believe that Graham potentially will be a top 5 pick. Phenomenal talent out there in Michigan. I believe he had 3.5 sacks this year, Rube. Not a ton of production in that department, but the guy is just, the motor is relentless. Could you imagine him, Wilkins, Max, and Malcolm Kuntz on the other edge? That would be an insane defensive line. And once again, a lot of comps have him as a Christian Wilkins, which is kind of interesting, right? Because you already have one, already on your roster, which is the real Christian Wilkins. So it's going to be interesting to see what he looks like at the next level. Salute to Rube. Manny, my dog. Send prayers for my family. My cousin, a Raider fan, is battling. Damn, bro. In hospital currently. Prayers, Manny, for you and your family, man. And definitely prayers to your cousin, brother. Look, man, I know, I've been around substance abuse my whole life. My pops dealt with it. A bunch of other people in my family dealt with it, man. Prayers, bro. I know that's a massive demon that you got to get off your back, man. So prayers to you and your family, brother. Real talk, man. Real talk, man. Salute to you. Thank you for sharing that information with your Raider Nation family as well, man. Trade up for Shedeur. The thing is this, Michael, I don't really believe that we may have to. I think, honestly, the way the draft boards will fall, I think he's going to be available at 6. I think that he's going to be available at 6. And we'll talk about that here in a second. I'm going to go, in order of where I feel need and fit with these top 5 guys. But honestly, you may not have to trade up for Shedeur. He may be available there at 6. And I don't know in any world where Tom Brady may pass up on a guy that he helped develop. That is a Tom Brady guy, and he does a lot of things, that Tom, I'm not saying he's the next Tom Brady, you guys. I'm just stating, more of a pocket passer. He can move though. He can get mobile if need be. I've seen Shedeur break off for a ton of runs, what I'm saying? But the poise, what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of similar attributes with their skill sets. And I think Tom knows that. So, but I think he may be available at 6. Once again, you guys, I'm not saying that Shedeur is Tom Brady at all. Trust and believe. I'm not saying, I already know the chat's gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm just stating the obvious in terms of skill set. Okay. There you go. Salute to Rick. Meet the Grahams in Las Vegas. Mason Graham, Hampton. Ooh, in the 2nd, and Howard and Higgins in the 3rd. Also, bring in a veteran quarterback. So my guy says, go get Mason Graham at 6. Defensive tackle, Michigan. Bring in Amarion Hampton, running back, North Carolina, which is my 1A and 1B with Ashton Jeanty in this year's draft. I would love to have him. 1,600 yards on the ground this past season. Crazy at North Carolina. Will Howard, Chip Kelly's guy, and then bringing in Higgins, Iowa State, I believe, right? And he, I think, had a massive Senior Bowl as well. People loved him out there in Alabama. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I would be, look, if the draft fell that way, Graham, Hampton, Howard, and Higgins, man, hey, but that would be, you win the draft there. You win the draft there. Facts. Salute. I think I caught up with most my people in the building. Salute to Kenny. I love that, bro. I love that, man. I love that, man. 2 decades. Salute to you and your sobriety, bro. Real talk, man. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed yet, what are y'all waiting on? Make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. Go get Dre Greenlaw, pair him up with Robert Spillane. Yeah, it looks like the Niners will be parting ways with Dre Greenlaw. They're trying to figure out what they're doing with their quarterback out there in Brock Purdy. It looks like they're trying to move on from Deebo Samuel, which I don't know. That contract is nasty. I don't know who's going to pick that up. Maybe a Pittsburgh, maybe a Buffalo, to be determined, right? But that would be a nasty little pairing right there. Dre Greenlaw and Robert Spillane. Oof. But how much money are you spending right there on 2 linebackers? You just drafted one to Tommy Eichenberg year prior, I believe, in the 5th round at Ohio State. And I think that he can be a guy. We've seen him get a lot of special teams reps. We've seen him get some reps at the linebacker position as well. But I want to see where he goes in year 2. I wouldn't want to pay 2 linebackers in free agency. I'd rather just pay one and then, go, run with Tommy Eichenberg, run with Amari Burney, and then go draft another guy. I personally would not want to pay a shit ton of money for 2 linebackers. But if it's affordable, hey, man, why not? But I think Dre Greenlaw is trying to get paid. I don't know if you guys seen the presser, or not presser, but some media shit that he did not too long ago where he stated, look, show me the money. Salute to Spivey. If Graham and Shedeur are both at 6, I take Graham all day. We saw the way to beat the Queefs. Go D-line. Okay. Well, I'm going to start my list right here then. We'll do this, okay? We'll start at 5. Top 5 fits for me, all right? For me. I'm not trying to change anybody else's opinion on this. This is just me, okay? At 5, this is perfect fit. A needed position, right? Where we can use these guys definitely on this existing roster. At 5, I have Will Johnson. I know a lot of people are high on him, and rightfully so. 6'2", 200 pounds. You know, a year prior in 2023 had a phenomenal year. Four picks. He had a touchdown. I mean, the guy, you know, can get to the football. He's a ball hawk. You know, I like Will Johnson. This past season, he was dealing with some injuries. Didn't really have a ton of production. 12 solo tackles, 2 picks. He had 3 passes defensed. I believe he was dealing with, was it turf toe? I think it was turf toe, something like that. And look, that can linger a little bit. I like Will Johnson. I think that we could use another corner to pair with Jacorian Bennett. I think that Pete Carroll and these guys will work wonders with DeCam Richardson in year 2. We still got Jack on board. I think that Jack needs to be that corner 3 on this roster. I think Jacorian's going to take that next step in year 3 and become a monster. He got hurt last year. We couldn't really see exactly, you know, him elevate last season because of the injury, but I believe in Jacorian Bennett. I think he can be a number 1 corner in this league. Bare minimum, a high-end corner 2. Like Will Johnson, I just think, honestly, you guys, I trust Pete Carroll. I trust Pete Carroll to go find a DB in those mid to later rounds. He's done it before with Tariq Woolen. He's done it before with Richard Sherman. The list goes on. He can go find other guys in those mid to later rounds. I think that we have massive holes, pause if necessary, and needs at different positions that I think trump the cornerback position right now. But Pete Carroll, Graham coming back, DeCam, Jack, Jacorian Bennett, all under contract still. You know, what are we going to do with Nate Hobbs here? I don't think that you draft a corner this early in the game at 6. Okay, so this is why I have him at 5. And I'm not going to mention a few names, you guys. I'm just not. I mean, I think that Abdul Carter is going to be off the board. I think that Cam Ward is going to be off the board. And I think that Travis Hunter is going to be off the board. I think those 3 guys, I'm not going to mention these guys. Do they all fit needs? Definitely. You can add another edge rusher like Abdul Carter, who could be a generational type pass rusher. Cam Ward's phenomenal. Travis Hunter is an alien, right? I'm not going to mention those 3. Not going to mention those 3. So just a heads up, not mention those. Will Johnson at 5. At 4, really, he would be number 2 if this position wasn't that deep in this year's draft. It's Ashton Jeanty, okay? A guy that carried the football, you guys, 374 times this past season at Boise State. That eclipses 220 at 2023, and then he had 156 in 2022. 374 carries. He had 2,600 rushing yards, 29 touchdowns. He averaged over 7 yards a clip. He was also very active in the passing game. Well, let me say this, not very active this past season. He had 23 receptions for 138 yards in the air, but the year prior, he had 43 receptions for 569 in the year, and he had 5 touchdowns to go along with that. The production is massive. This guy can definitely be a generational type running back. But the thing is, this class is so deep that you could find another running back in the 2nd, 3rd round that can be your guy of the future. So can Ashton Jeanty be a generational type guy? Definitely. But I think that there's other guys on the board in front of him, I think fit needs right now where maybe those positions aren't that deep. Okay. Love Ashton Jeanty. Love what he can do. Love what he can provide. If he's a Raider, I'm all in on him. I think that he can be a stud at the next level, a perennial pro, all pro. You know, given what our offensive line looks like after, you know, free agency in the draft. But I got Ashton Jeanty at 4. So we got Will Johnson, then Ashton Jeanty. Before I get into 3, let's get these supers. Never thought I'd say this, but do you think trading Maxx would speed up the process? A Mac type haul with a GM who can competently draft could set us up for years beyond Maxx, given his age and his injuries. I mean, let me say this. I don't want to trade Maxx at all. I don't want to trade him, but I'll say this. If you're going to do it, this is the year to do it. But do I believe that he'll be on this roster? after free agency, after the draft? I do. I think that Maxx will be a Raider for the foreseeable future. But I will state the obvious here. If you're going to move him, right now would be the time to do it because of all the holes that we have on this roster. And because of this deep class, there's some nice edge rushers. You can literally build up the middle of your defensive line. This is one of the deepest defensive tackle classes in years. Like, this is a phenomenal class at defensive tackle. And then, potentially you can lock up a quarterback there early with some extra draft capital, or Cam Ward or a Shedeur. There's a lot of talk of the Titans want to move out of number 1. If you could provide them with 2 firsts, you don't think they're going to take that 6 and whatever else you get from another team? This would be the year to do it. But, I think that Pete Carroll, Spytech and company value Maxx Crosby. I think they said it themselves. They don't want to move on from your best players. You want to keep those guys around. So I know all the smoke, you guys, and I'm not here to say that he's going to remain a Raider. But once again, if I'm a betting man, I think that Maxx Crosby will be a Raider, and I think that's the right move. Salute to Damager, my guy. Salute to Will Duncan on the $20 holla, man. We are now in the red zone because of Will Duncan. I've had many reservations on Sanders, but for the first time in a long time, I trust who we have in charge. If they think Sanders is that dude, then I'm going to be excited to have him. Haven't felt that trust in over a decade. Salute to my guy, Will. And we're going to talk about him here in a second as well. And I agree with everything you just said, Will. I've had my reservations with Shedeur Sanders, and I've kind of changed my, my tone with Shedeur this past season. I wasn't the biggest Shedeur Sanders fan. I really sat back, looked at the tape, watched some stuff, seen some stuff, and I love what Shedeur can do potentially at the next level, given he's in the right system, given he's in the right situation. And I think that the Raiders will be a phenomenal spot for him. Salute to you, but salute to Rube. I think we're caught up pretty much on the supers. My guy, appreciate you, brother. As always, everyone talking about Archie Manning next season. Long Beach's own Nico from Tennessee will be the number 1, the first QB off the board next year. 6'6", mobile, in the pocket. It can make every throw. Rube with a haymaker. So you saying that Nico is, and mind you, Archie Manning is a phenomenal talent, but the namesake is there as well, right? We know the Paytons, the Elis, their father was, come on, like the Manning name holds weight in the NFL, right? That's interesting. That's interesting to think that another team would potentially take Nico over Archie, man. I think that Archie is going to be the guy. I think he's going to be the guy. So we shall see. Salute to my guy, Rube. Gio says Archie's not coming out. Maybe he doesn't. But I think if he has a big year at Texas, let's just say they run the table and they win a championship. What else does he need to do? And they really could. A lot of their problems out there at Texas this year was because of Quinn Ewers. So if he goes out there and wins a national championship, or goes out there and just takes the college football world by storm, and the production is there, you don't really have anything else to show for. Just go into the NFL and run it. But, we shall see. All right. So we had Will Johnson at 5. We had Ashton GT at 4. This one, you guys may not agree with me, but I'm going to go with Will Campbell here. Starting left tackle from LSU. This is a guy that may end up being a guard at the next level, you guys, because of his short arms. You know what I'm saying? But I trust in the process, and I trust what they got going out there with Joe Philbin, our new offensive line coach. And these guys on the offensive side of the ball, Chip Kelly. I believe in trust in the process of them. If they took Will Campbell there at 6, the LSU standout left tackle, they're probably going to convert him to guard. We're probably going to need 2 guards. Parham has not been a stud by any means. We thought that he was going to be that guy out of the 3rd round out of Memphis. He hasn't really been that. We brought in Jordan Meredith this year, and he looked pretty good for us. And I think that we will bring Jordan Meredith back, but I think that he's better suited as a rotational guy, not a starter at the NFL level. This is a guy that is a road grader in the run game. There are some knocks to his game, you know what I'm saying? But the one thing that's big about this is down there at LSU, he's played against some of the highest at edge rusher. You know what I mean? So the guy has a phenomenal skill set, you guys. There's a lot of things that he could work on. And I'm not going to go over all the weaknesses and all the strengths and so on and so forth. But I'm just going to state the obvious here. We need some help on the offensive line. Do I want to go potentially guard, at 6? No, I don't. But if they go that route, I'm trusting the process here. And once again, Will Campbell can be a guy that, if he's there at guard for a year or two, and let's just say you move on from Colton Miller, at some point, maybe he can be your starting left tackle of the future. The guy's a monster. Will Campbell looked really, really good down there at LSU. And we've seen Philly. They had the greatest, offensive line in the NFL. Detroit, 1A, 1B, one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. And there's a reason why their run games were so stout. They did have Gibbs. They did have Montgomery. They also had Saquon Barkley. That definitely helps. But you got to build up that offensive line. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't be against them looking at a guy in Will Campbell that has all the measurables, 6'6", 320, a guy that can really, truly get it done at the next level. But do you draft him at 6 and move him to guard? That's the big question mark there, because I do believe that he will have to move from left tackle to guard because of the short arms and a few deficiencies in his game. So I got Will Campbell at 3. We're going to go here to number 2. Before we do that, let me make sure I'm caught up in the chat real quick. Salute real quick to my guy. Hold on. All right, catch up real quick. Make sure you guys wipe them feet while you're here also, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. I don't want to be rude and miss anybody's supers, and I definitely want to get to you guys' comments here in a second as well. Let me make sure I'm caught up. All right, boom. Got it. Okay, I'm caught up. Salute to 80s baby on becoming a member as well. My brother, I appreciate you so much. I think you are a member already. You're probably just renewing, but I appreciate you, man. CGR, yes, man. Get those likes up. Man. Salute to my guy, man. Listen to CGR, man. Get those thumbs up. It definitely helps us remain in the algorithm, you guys, on YouTube, and it helps us, grow every single day on YouTube. So just hit the likes. It's free. Helps us. All right, man. At 2, right here, we're remaining on the trenches, but we're going the opposite side of the ball. A guy that, once again, we just talked about here a second ago, which is Mason Graham. One of the top defensive tackles in this year's class, 6'3", 320, massive human being. This past season he had 24 solo tackles. He had 3.5 sacks. He was a monster out there in Michigan. Year prior, in 2023, he had 3 sacks. 2022, he had 2.5. I'm not saying that he has a massive amount of production, in that department, you guys, but this guy's motor is relentless. He can get it done in the run game. And one thing about him, he gets after the quarterback. Regardless if he gets the hands on him, he gets to the quarterback. This guy is literally, he could be that Crosby type motor from the interior of your defensive line. I couldn't even imagine if you bring back Kuntz and he's healthy and you have Christian Wilkins and Graham there in the middle of the defense with Maxx Crosby on the other edge. This can be phenomenal. This could be a real life game changer pickup here at 6 if Graham is there, and that's the way we decide to go. You know what I mean? I'm not against bringing in a guy in Mason Graham that can help this defensive line. We've seen it with Philadelphia, the Jalen Carters, the Jordan Davises of the world. Brandon Graham came back at the Super Bowl. Nolan Smith, the list goes on. Josh Sweat, they had a phenomenal defensive line. You have to be able to get to the quarterback. And guess what? We have 3 quarterbacks that can definitely use their legs, the Bo Nixes of the world, the Justin Herbert, the Patrick Graham. If you get to the what's the old school saying, you guys? If you hit the brain, if you hit the head, the body drops, right? Well, guess what? The brain of the offensive side of the football is the quarterback. If you hit them in the head, the body drops. There you have it. So I would not have an issue going out and getting the likes of a Mason Graham there at 2. Fly, I talked to him. Good kid out of BYU, edge rusher. A little salt with him and Maxx Crosby there, huh? At edge rusher. Good kid. He was also another dude that at the Shrine Bowl, his motor was just go. You know what I mean? So if we're looking at him in those later rounds, I'm all for bringing him in and developing him. I think he could be a stud at the next level with the likes of a Rob Leonard putting his arm around it and help develop him. I like Tyler Batty a lot, or Tyler Batty, however you want to say it, or, apples, oranges, whatever it is, right? Tomato, all that good shit. But I like that kid at BYU. And once again, a good kid. Spoke to him a few times at the Shrine Bowl. I think that he could be a stud at the next level. So to Just Raiders, baby. Graphk, thanks for the coffee and convo. Now we saw what a top defense can do versus the Chiefs. Do we shift a bit more building up the defense rather than go heavy on offense? I mean, I think that was the plan anyway. Just Raiders, baby. I think, bringing in Pete Carroll, a defensive-minded head coach, keeping Patrick Graham around, for continuity and such, right? And probably going to re-up Max here, and there's a lot of holes potentially in the defensive side of the ball because we have a lot of free agents, the Robert Spillanes, Kuntzes, Nate Hobbs, Trayvon Merrick, Divine Diablo, so on and so forth. I think that was the plan regardless. I think they want to build both sides of the football, but bringing in the likes of a Chip Kelly, I just think that they're going to add a little something, add a little sprinkle some sauce over there on the offense side of the football and say, Chip Kelly, do what you do. Do what you do. But I do believe in free agency, they're going to hit the defensive side of the football. I truly do. I think the draft, you have to locate a quarterback. You have to locate a running back. You have to go find you another wide receiver to pair with Jacoby, right? And Trey Tucker and them. But I think in free agency, we tackle the defensive side of the ball. I think Pete Carroll's going to go out, get some studs, potentially, a guy that he coached out there in Seattle that we talked about the other day with Hammer. Corner from the Jets. There's a few other guys we can look at potentially bringing back some of our own guys. Malcolm Kuntz, I think Merrick, if he's not, the price tag's not crazy, I think that he'll be back with Graham to have another year in his system. You know what I'm saying? But I think the plan is to build up the defensive side of the football, regardless. Pay some of your guys to come back, have that continuity. Because remember, you guys, we were like a top 5 defense, when AP took over for Josh McDaniels. And then injuries occurred the following year, right? Malcolm Kuntz goes down in the offseason. Max is hurt. Christian Wilkins is hurt early in the season. We're bare cupboards at the cornerback position. DCAM has to go out there and pretty much start for us because, the injuries that started to pile up. Nate Hobbs, durability issues. We had a ton of injuries. Marcus Epps, the brain trust on the back end of our defense. So I think that some of these guys they're going to bring back and they're going to try and build on what they had already. So in free agency, expect these guys to bring back a few of our guys and to look elsewhere, to continue to build that defense up. But I think in the draft, you're bringing in a guy in Chip Kelly that's coached at the collegiate level a long time. Who knows these kids more than the likes of a Chip Kelly? I think that they're going to go heavy on the offensive side of the football. They'll go get a corner. They'll probably add a defensive tackle in the mix. They'll probably get an edge rusher late, in the draft to try and develop, around some of these other guys. But I think that in the draft, they're going to look at the O-line. They're going to look at a running back. They're going to look at potentially a mid-round wide receiver. They're going to look at building up the offense with Chip Kelly, a guy that knows how to unlock these young kids. So look, I'm here for it at the next level. I think Chip can work wonders with some of these guys coming in offensively at the next level. So if I'm a betting man, that's the new thing over here at OLV. If I'm a betting man, I think we go heavy on the defensive side of the football and free agency. We take care of some of our own guys, and we bring in potentially maybe another linebacker, in free agency. Maybe you look at another corner, right? We talked about that on other shows. And once again, paying some of your own guys. Salute to Just Raiders, baby. But we got Mason Graham there at number 2. Who's number 1, you guys? Who's number 1? Who's number 1? Who's number 1? Y'all gonna hate me. Who's number 1? Where's the flag? I didn't put Carter. I did not put him on this list because I do not believe that he'll be available for us. Also, I don't think that it's necessarily a massive need to bring in him. If you bring back Malcolm Kuntz and he's healthy and you get him back in the mix with Max, so you have Christian Wilkins there, I would rather have a Graham there to help the middle of that defense. I think we'll be okay. And I love Abdul Carter. I think he's the best player in this year's draft. But I do not have him or Travis Hunter on this list. Said McMillan? Okay. Shedeur Sanders, you guys. It's Shedeur. Once again, I understand, okay? I understand people saying, look what Philly did with the defense, right? Look what they did. Look what they did with the offense, the offensive line, the trenches, right? Understood. You guys are right. Kansas City, they had a phenomenal defense. Their O-line stepped up this year and, whoa. I understand that. I get that. You still need a quarterback, okay? You still need a quarterback. Once again, I will repeat this. You still need a quarterback. Jalen Hurts is no punk. I'm not the biggest fan of Jalen Hurts, but this guy has been phenomenal for Philadelphia. He just won the MVP at the Super Bowl. You still need to find your quarterback of the future. And if Shedeur Sanders is there at 6, okay, and I'm not saying to go give up the farm and move up to go get him. I'm saying if Shedeur is there at 6, I think this is the best fit in this draft for the Raiders at that position. Actually, you know what? I think it's the best fit, period, for the Raiders. The Tom Brady connection, him being with the TB12 brand. Once again, the skill set that fits what Tom Brady is trying to bring to Las Vegas at the quarterback position. A guy that got better and better and better at the collegiate level. And some will say, oh, Jackson State. I understand that, okay? Hey, man, look, he went where his dad was, and it worked out. It worked out. They won a shit ton of games down there. But the guy has gotten better year in and year out. In 2021, he threw for 3,200 yards, right? He had 30 touchdowns. He only had 8 picks. Nice. 2022, throws for 3,700, has 40 touchdowns, 6 picks, okay? Both Jackson State. He went to Colorado. The production goes down a little bit there to 3,200, right? Because the offensive line is terrible. The ground game was non-existent. He throws for 3,200 yards, but he also has 27 touchdowns. He only throws 3 picks. 3 picks. So he took care of the football in the year 1 in Colorado. Year 2, 2024 last year, they're a top 25 ranked team. For a long time there, right? Yes, they got exposed, in their bowl game. They got cooked. I understand they got destroyed. I get it. But the guy had over 4,000 yards in the air. He had 37 touchdowns. He had 10 picks. But the guy went out there and did his thing. 353 completions on 477 attempts. This guy, to me, at the next level, if you protect him, you give him a real run game, this guy can work wonders in Las Vegas. And I'm going to say it over and over again, you guys. He was made for the bright lights. When you talk to this kid in person, nothing rattles him, period. He is Deion's son. He was made for the big lights out there. You know what I mean? He could carry this organization in Las Vegas, become that superstar quarterback that we desperately need in Las Vegas. Now, if we follow what Tom Brady says, you get Shedeur, you still go get the likes of a Matthew Stafford if you trade for him, or you bring in an Aaron Rodgers or one of these veteran guys for a year or two, and you sit Shedeur. You allow him to see the game, even though he's been around the game his entire life. Allow him to develop behind the scenes for a year. I'm all for that. If we get Shedeur, I'm not saying to just throw him out there into the fire year 1. Once again, Tom Brady said that is the problem with the NFL today. These kids do not have a chance to sit down like he did behind Bledsoe, like Aaron did behind Brett Favre, like Jordan Love did behind Aaron Rodgers, and so on and so forth. Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes, so on and so forth. You kind of look at all these situations, and a lot of these guys are phenomenal, and they're great because they had an opportunity to sit down and learn the game and develop the game and sit behind some guys that know what it takes to get it done at the NFL level. Okay. So there you go. I got him at number 1. I think that he fits perfectly with what we're doing in Las Vegas. And once again, the bright lights will not shock him at all. If you provide, a nice offensive line out there where you can do that in the draft and potentially bring in a Trey Smith or a Becton in free agency to help, bolster up that offensive line, I'm here for it. You know what I mean? And once again, we're going to find a running back or 2 in this year's draft. One thing that Shedeur has desperately needed was a run game. You know what I mean? Like, can anybody in this chat right now, who was the running back for Colorado? Who was the running back? It was non-existent. It's non-existent. If you give this kid a ground game at the next level, give him a run game where he doesn't have to put everything on his back every single down, I think Shedeur will be the guy to get it done. Yeah, Isaiah Augustine was okay, but that's it. They had like 4 different ones. And their O-line was terrible. Give this guy, for him to put up that kind of production and not have a ground game and have a really, really bad offensive line, to put up over 4,000 yards, 37 touchdowns to 10 picks. And that's the most picks he's thrown, because once again, he had to go out there and this is the most he threw the football last year, you guys. He almost threw the football 500 times last year. You know what I mean? So real talk. He threw 483 in 2022 at Jackson State, but 477 times he threw the football out there. Didn't have a lot of help out there. Yeah, he had some weapons on the outside, Trav and Will and so on and so forth, right? But if you give him a ground game and they block up front for him, I think Shedeur can be phenomenal. Real talk. So that's my number one guy right there in terms of fit, in terms of need, and all that good stuff. Salute to Harry Potter. Liking the content. My personal opinion, I feel like we shouldn't focus on beating the Chiefs. I would rather us focus on stability and winning culture and winning more than 4 games. Well, I mean, that's the standard, Harry Potter, right? Appreciate you on a $10 donation in the kind words. The standard is the Kansas City Chiefs. If you want to compete in the AFC West, you have to put them on the board and say, that's the team that we have to go after, right? I understand what you're saying, like, oh, don't focus, but this is a team that you have to focus on. You play them twice a season. And they kind of got exposed in this year's Super Bowl by the Philadelphia Eagles. So you still have to look at them as the standard. You have to look at them as the team to say, we have to be able to beat them. You know, realistically, them, the Broncos, and the Chargers, 3 playoff teams this past season that you play twice a year. So I hear you. I definitely agree with you that we need to focus on stability and winning culture, but winning culture is going out there and at least winning 3 games in your division and not going 0-6, right? Winning culture is going out there and beating a team that maybe you're not supposed to beat, which is the Kansas City Chiefs. Winning culture to me is going out there and at least cracking 500 in your division where you're facing 3 really good teams, 3 playoff teams. I hear you. I totally understand where you're coming from, brother, but I'm saying this. When they're the standard, you put them on that board, you put a target around them, put a target on their back, that's the team that you're fighting to get to. Simple and plain, especially when you're playing them twice a year. You know what I mean? So look, if you could potentially beat the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Broncos next season once a piece, now we're talking. Now we're kind of, now we're on the upswing for real. But going 0-6 in our division, man, look, I know I get the winning only 4 games, but that's why I think personally AP got fired. Yeah, we had a terrible year. Yeah, the game management was nasty, but going 0-6 in your division, could you imagine Tom Brady losing to the Bills, all those teams that were in that division twice a year? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, salute to you, though, brother. Salute to Sky High. Hot take. Sanders will be even better in the NFL. I agree. With a solid line, great weapons to throw to, and Super Bowl winning coaches in TB12. It's legendary. Talk that talk, bro. Talk that talk, Sky High. Yes. Appreciate you on the $5 special. LT, disgusting. It was nasty. But guess what? We got rid of Matt Shelton. He was the problem. He was let me say this. He was a major part of the problem. And we moved on from him. Thank God. Our game management guy, this was a guy that AP leaned on heavily. A guy that has over 20 years of experience that was terrible, was absolutely abysmal at his job. We moved on from him. That's a good thing. He's no longer a part of this team. PM, it seems like year in and year out, right? Howie just finds a way to find all these great players, regardless of where they're drafted. The Jalen Carters of the world falls right into his lap. Jordan Davis, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell. I agree with you, bro. I'm hoping that John Spytek is that guy that can give us that Howie Roseman type of build. Definitely, man. Definitely. Oh, shit. Salute to PM. Right them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up once again. These were my top 5 guys in this year's draft in terms of fit. 5, Will Johnson. 4, Ashton Jeanty. 3, Will Campbell. 2, Mason Graham. Number 1, Shedeur Sanders. Let me see. I call cap, Jeff. I said at the beginning of the show, I do not believe that Cohen went down there to move on from Trevor Lawrence. I think that's the major reason he took the job. So teams can make calls. And once again, Pittsburgh did exactly what they were supposed to do. I'll repeat what I said earlier in the show. They were smart. They're trying to take advantage of a really bad organization without a general manager right now. Why not make a call and say, hey, Trevor Lawrence, we'll give you a first and a second right now. They're trying to take advantage of that team down there that has no general manager in the building and an owner in Khan that has struggled to keep that Jacksonville Jaguars team afloat. So makes all the sense in the world for teams to call, especially Pittsburgh, a team that knows how to finesse the hell out of other teams. But Cohen and Connor on the same page, it sounds like, in terms of Trevor Lawrence is the guy moving forward. I think that's the reason why he took the job, was to help a broken Trevor Lawrence. So that's my opinion on it. Let me see. Salute to everybody here in the building. As always, man, I appreciate every single one of you guys. As always, we talked about Shedeur. We talked about Will Campbell. We talked about Jinty. Talked about Graham. Talked about Will Johnson. We also talked about the Raiders going big in free agency, according to Albert Breer, right? Which I think that doesn't come as a shocker at all, you guys. I think they kind of said that, in the introductory, presser, that they were trying to win now. So I'm not shocked about Breer writing that the Raiders are going to go all in free agency. We also talked about, Maxx Crosby sending a message about Malcolm Kuntz ahead of free agency, stating that he's one of the leaders, that he's always there 6 a.m. with Max working out, that he's been kind of helping taking a leadership role there, out there in Las Vegas. And I'm not shocked that Max is saying this right before free agency hits next month, because I do believe that he wants his guy back in the building. So talked about that. And then we also talked about the new hire with Connor McQueen, our new assistant wide receivers coach, that has a ton of experience at the collegiate level. We talked about him being a former quarterback at Texas A&M. We talked about him being the offensive coordinator under Chip Kelly in 2018, 2019 at UCLA. Also, offensive coordinator with Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma. And then once again, the USC connection with Pete Carroll, where he was in 2022 before he went to Incarnate Word. So where they had the second ranked offense in FCS and total offense, passing offense, total offense period, and but passing offense in 2024, his first year there. So we talked about that. Other than that, let's get some questions in, you guys. Let's have some fun before we get out of here. Salute to 1,000+ people here in the building. Make sure you guys wipe them feet, man. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you guys are new here as well. Pace, if we can't get the top 2 quarterbacks, I think we got to grab Will Johnson, since the draft is thin, at cornerback. Even though I feel like I just smoked a cigar, bro. I feel like some of that smoke just came up right now. It's nasty work out here in these cigar streets. Even though I want Mason so bad, pause. Corner, DT, running back, quarterback in that order. I just don't think you need to get Will Smith. I don't think you need to go Will Johnson that early, man. I believe in Pete Carroll finding those DBs in the mid to later rounds. Like I said earlier in the show, I watched them do it with Tariq Woolen. We watched them do it, with with Richard Sherman and company. They built that Legion of Boom, with some of those mid-round picks. I don't think we need to go corner there early, especially with Jacorian Bennett, who I think is going to turn the corner this upcoming season. A Decam Richardson that has all the measurables that these guys will want. I don't think they go corner that early. I could be wrong, though. Will Johnson may be the pick. Michigan guy, Spy Tech, Michigan guy, Tom Brady, Michigan guy. Makes all the sense in the world. Maybe C. Wood, maybe my guy behind the scenes is saying Will Johnson could be that guy for you moving forward. So you never know. Salute to Harry, my guy. I respect that take. I just feel like some people focus on the Chiefs only when the Broncos and Chargers ain't going nowhere. Facts. And Chargers have a good amount of money in free agency. It looks like they may be in the Devontae Adams sweepstakes in free agency if he moves on from the Jets. They may be potentially bringing Keenan Allen back home to the Chargers. They're going to spend some money in the offseason. They need to get some skill players. They were lacking some wide receivers outside of McConkey, so they need some help there, and they can continue to build on that defense a little bit because they're aging. Khalil Mack, Bosa, so on and so forth. Salute to my brother Mikey in the building, man. He says, what's the likelihood if we get Miles get very thin? Very thin. Very thin. If I'm a betting man, 1 out of 10 shot that we end up being the team to do it. I just don't see it. I think there's other teams out there that can use an edge rusher that's very, very close to potentially winning a Super Bowl. Buffalo, Detroit, the Commanders. Those are the 3 teams that I'm looking at potentially adding a Myles Garrett. And then a dark horse team, which sounds crazy, right? The Philadelphia Eagles. Josh Sweat's a free agent. He may move on and get a shit ton of money elsewhere. Keep an eye on Philadelphia for Myles Garrett. I can see Howie Roseman saying, let's run it back. Let's run it back. Dan, I can see that too. The Packers as well. Another team that would be interesting to bring in Myles Garrett. I can see that. As Chloe drinks her water in the background. Isaiah, I would love it. The thing is this, it just, I don't know. He's going to cost a shit ton of money in free agency. He's going to cost a shit ton of money. I'd rather draft a defensive tackle in this defensive tackle heavy class. I'd rather go get one on a rookie deal than pay the likes of a Milton Williams. Well, you're already paying Christian Wilkins top defensive tackle money. You got to figure out the Maxx situation, or you're bringing Kuntz back. You know what I mean? I would bring back Adam Butler and I would draft one. Me personally, I would bring back Adam Butler on a, you know, I don't want to say team-friendly deal because he took one last year, but give him a pay raise, keep him around, and go draft one. Will, my guy, if Carter, Ward, Sanders, and Graham are gone, trade back and acquire more picks. The second round will have so many studs, 2 picks, and the second is go. I agree with you. I agree with you. Pull the Pete Carroll special, move back, pick up some draft capital, and just pick your poison there in the second round. I'm not mad at that at all. I'm mad at that at all. If those guys are gone, trade back for sure. Not mad at that's shit. Great comment by Will. Because essentially, Abdul is going to probably be gone at 1 if Tennessee doesn't move that pick. I think Ward is going to be gone. I think he may end up in Cleveland. Shedeur is just still very interesting with the Giants there at 3, so he could be gone. And then Graham, he's a guy that I can still see. They have an offensive-minded head coach now, but I can see him being a fit there in Jacksonville. Or where's Travis Hunter go there? You think he falls to Jacksonville? Do you think he goes to the Titans at 1? Do you think maybe he goes to Cleveland at 2? I can see him going to Cleveland at 2. It's going to be interesting. But I have no issue if those guys are gone, and help trade back and pick up some extra draft capital to help build this team the right way. I wouldn't trade for Tyler Lockett. He's getting up there in age. You know, I wouldn't want to do that. If you're going to trade for anyone out there, Rick, you got to go get DK Metcalf. Oh, there you go. The Pats. I forgot the Pats were right there. So boom. Yeah, I can see Travis Hunter going to the Pats. I knew I was missing the team there at the top of the draft. There you go. I can see that being a clear cut. He could play wide receiver for him, play some corner with him. Can you imagine Christian Gonzalez and Travis Hunter together? Good luck trying to throw the football on the New England Patriots with Mike Vrabel out there. Woo, that'd be nasty work. But if you're going to trade for a wide receiver, Seattle, it has to be DK Metcalf. You got to go the younger route. What's DK? 26, 27? If you're going to make a move for a receiver, I'm not going to make a move for an aging Tyler Lockett. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to do it. If you're going to go get a wide receiver from his former team, you go make a move for DK Metcalf. Hey, Felon, I'll tell you this. Hey, fuck it. Go run that go route. It is what it is. Depending on who the quarterback is, run that go route. Jacoby will go. He'll be on the other side. You got Brock. You got Michael Mayer. You got Trey Tucker. Hey, pick your poison. I'm cool with DK. I don't need him to go out there and do all that fancy ass China route shit that Hunter Renfrow was doing. Give me a 9 route. Give me a 9 route. I'm cool with that. Big body dude. Go up there and get that shit. 50-50 ball. DK Metcalf. I'm cool with that. Yeah. Where's the flag? He run blocks too. Facts. But either way, I agree. There's more to him than just than a 9 route. But I'm saying I don't give a fuck. Shit. Hey, we're throwing it up to you, DK. Go up and get it. Go up and get it. I don't need him to come out here and be Amari Cooper with the route running. I don't need him to be OBJ with all the footwork. I don't need Chad Ochocinco, dance moves. I don't need that for my big body wide receiver. Just go up there and get the football. And then what's crazy, man? I think that would be a terrible move. I think it'd be a terrible move. I like McMillan. I do. Played phenomenal at Arizona. He is one of the guys that scares the absolute shit out of me in this draft. Like, real talk. Like, him and Will Johnson, to me, scare me at 6. And I have my reasons for both players. I think he's a very, like, a boom or bust type guy, McMillan. Could he be phenomenal at the next level? He could be. But I think that's the wrong way to go about things. Why take a wide receiver there at 6 when you still have Brock, you have Michael Mayer, you got Jacoby, 1 year left on his deal. Receiver, you don't need to get one there. If you're going to get one in the middle rounds. I'm not taking T-Mac at 6. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it at all. I think that'd be a terrible move. And if we do take him at 6, I'll keep that energy. I'll say the same thing. I'll be like, yo, I think we fucked up. I think we made a massive mistake there at 6. Spivey, if we can get Stafford for 3, what would he cost us in cap space? I don't know. It just depends on how much the Rams are willing to take on from that contract. So I don't know. I truly don't know what it would look like. Let me see how much he cost this year, but I'm assuming that they would have to take on some of that contract in order to move him. So next year he will earn base salary of $23 million. Cap hit of $49 million, essentially $50 million cap hit with the Rams. So I just don't know. We'll have to hold out on that. We're gonna have to hold out. We're gonna have to hold out on that, Spivey, and kind of see where the Rams agree with some of that contract. They're gonna have to eat some of that contract up. Definitely. Let me see. He said, "Deal. Hold me accountable." Yeah, I don't think that our wide receiver group is bad right now, you guys. We had a guy who was a tight end, and Brock Bowers had over 1,000 yards. We had a guy in Jacoby that had over 1,000 yards with Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew at quarterback. I don't think our wide receiving group is bad at all. Would I like to add a DK Metcalf? That'd be great. You know, if you move one of those mid-round picks to go get him, I'm cool with that. I like this wide receiver group. I do. I don't think that you need to go reach for a wide receiver there in the first round. Like, for what? I love Trey. You know, I think we need to get him more involved in the offense. And I also think that our running back group is going to be a lot more active in the passing game this year as well with Chip Kelly, you know, holding down the fort on the offensive side of the ball. So I don't think that that's necessarily a need there at 6. You can go get a veteran wide receiver in free agency to add to that group. You can bring in, like I said before, a Nick Nash from San Jose State there in the mid to later rounds. You can bring in a Ricky out of UNLV, my guy, that I would love to have on this roster. Add him into the mix. But you don't really need a wide receiver that early. So, you know. Angel, I don't think so. I know he was kind of flirting with it because, you know, Seth Rollins, but I think it'll be Brock Bowers more than anybody. It makes no sense. Max is coming off of an injury. That would be insane for him to even get in the mix with anything wrestling related. It makes no sense. And I know that WrestleMania is what, 2 months away, something like that. But no, I think I think the Raiders will be telling him, I don't care if it's in our house. You're not doing that. Because by that point, we're going to know what we're doing with Max. You know, I think that there's going to be an extension. You're not allowing him to get involved in the shenanigans of WrestleMania. Maybe they interview him backstage, but him getting involved, hell no. This isn't a Kittle type situation. No. Tyrese Halliburton, no. No. Flip, I would love that, but he's not going to make it that far. I think Harris can potentially be a second-round pick. Maybe even a team takes a flyer on him in the late first. But if he's there in the third, then some of these mock drafts have him available. A lot of them actually have him available in the third round. I would love to have Trey Harris. If he's there, take him. Take him. Flip, Savion Williams, big body wide receiver out of TCU. Jack, I always butcher. Is it Beach? However you say it. A dog that went. A dog went out there and killed the Senior Bowl. Ended up being the MVP of that game. Would love to have him as well. But once again, there's a lot of wide receivers in this class where you don't have to reach for one there early. If we get Shedeur, we got to draft Wester in the 5th. I would love that. Give him some familiarity. And Wester can return kicks for you. You know what I mean? Like, and he looked great at the Shrine Bowl during practices. Beesh. My bad. I didn't call him a bitch. I said Beesh. Besh. I don't know how to say it. But I'm Sky High, be all for that. Give him some familiarity out there at wide receiver if we did get Shedeur. I would love it. Yeah, I mean, look, you add him, Wester with Tucker, and then maybe you bring back DJ Turner as well, which I would. You know what I mean? He's a phenomenal special teams guy and kind of a under-the-radar guy that you can get involved in the offense side of the ball as well. I mean, I would love it. I would love it. That'd be fun. That'd be fun in Chip Kelly's system. It'd be fun. Fun to watch. Get a few more questions in, you guys, before we get out of here. Once again, salute to the chat. Appreciate every single one of you guys for rocking with me as always. Just do me a favor real quick. Do me a solid. Make sure you guys wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up. And if you guys are not subscribed yet, what are you waiting on, man? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's free. Doesn't cost you a thing. And it helps us grow over here at OLV Raiders Network. So if you're new, I see some new names in the chat. Just hit that subscribe button. It definitely helps us grow every single day on YouTube, man. Appreciate you. Get a few more questions in before we head out of here, y'all. We're almost at an hour and a half. Solomon, yeah, I don't know what the hell. McAllister, man. What game was that where we finally got him involved and he just got ate the hell up, bro? He got ate the hell up. What was it? A shoulder injury? He got smacked on a boundary. I forgot what play that was, but he got cooked. Appreciate you, LT. Salute, my guy. Let me see. But yeah, Solomon, I agree with you, bro. Sky High, I definitely agree with you as well. I think Darnold is way too expensive. Foxdale, I can see it. I can see Aaron Glenn and them saying, hey, we're moving on from Aaron. They have They have Jordan Travis right now, the Florida State kid out there at quarterback right now, pretty much. I can see them leapfrogging us. I could. But that is like football hell at the quarterback position. I don't know if Dion may call the Jets like, nah, man, I see what y'all did to Zach Wilson. I see what y'all did to Sam Darnold. No. We're not doing that. I can see Dion saying, Jets, nope, y'all ain't one of them. Nah, D. Cooks, I don't want nothing to do with Derek Carr, bro. There's no knock to him at all. Once a Raider, always a Raider. When he comes home and he retires a Raider, I will definitely show him love and appreciation, but I don't want anything to do with the Derek Carr. No, sir. No, thank you. And I still have DC's, jerseys and stuff on the wall and all that. There's no knock to him. We played that game before. I'm good. Damn, I mean, Shedeur wants NY, but it sounds like it's the Jets preferably, and not. I mean, the Giants preferably, and not the Jets. You know what I'm saying? They do have Garrett Wilson out there. They do have some weapons. They have a nice little duo, at the running back position. You know what I mean? But I don't know that's just, man, it's like a few things in the NFL you just know, right? Like you just know. And one of them is don't be a quarterback with the Jets. Look at Aaron Rodgers, bro. Look, ran out there with the flag. One play cooked. I don't know if he'd want to play that game. Salute to my guy, AP. That content fire as always. Salute to my guy. Where's the flag? You know what's funny, man? I'm about to fly out to Vegas and chop it up with bro in person. Where's the flag? Stay tuned. I should be out there in the next month or so. So stay tuned. Got some things in the works. But yeah, man, other than that, man, salute to everybody that pulled up on me today and kicked it with me, man. If we're not back tonight, we'll be back at some point tomorrow. Me and Hammer got to put a show together. I know me and Wasted got to do our show this week. So stay tuned for that. But other than that, you guys, thank you guys so much for always pulling up, participating, and just making the chat what it is. I appreciate you guys so much. And we'll leave on this note because I know a lot of people on Twitter were killing Shiloh for him not getting the invite to the combine. I have him as a late round guy, maybe because of the non-invite. Maybe he is a UDFA. But I'm going to say this. He's not a guy that's going to go in those mid rounds early. That's not who Shiloh is. He'll potentially be maybe a 6th, 7th round guy or UDFA. But hey, man, I'm not going to kill that kid, man. You know what I mean? That kid comes from a great family. I'm not one of those people that are going to beat Shiloh up because he didn't get an invite to the combine. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. But I think 6th, 7th round, potentially a UDFA. Maybe he catches on for special teams somewhere, and then maybe he does get some reps at safety at some point. You know what I mean? So, but I have him personally, Dan, is like a late round guy, potentially a UDFA. And depending on where he goes, I think he'll be a factor in special teams for sure. One thing Shiloh can do is hit. He's a hitter. You know what I mean? So I think he could be a value somewhere on someone's special teams for sure. So, but other than that, man, love, appreciate all you guys. Let me get the hell out of here. One.
That's what I'm talking about.